Hi, this is Gayle from BERNINA of Naperville, and welcome to Thailand. Sawadee ka. Now, right now, we're here at our villa in Phuket, but it was quite a journey to get here. It took about 23 hours-ish, and it was a whirlwind because, as you know, we just got married. So we got back from Florida on the 3rd, then we left for Thailand on the 4th. So we had a tight turnaround getting here. But fortunately, we did treat ourselves a little bit because it was our honeymoon, and we flew Qatar Airlines. I've never flown them before. They are rated as one of the top airlines in the world, and I can totally tell you why, because holy guacamole. But we upgraded to business class, and so well worth it. We had those fully reclining seats. They fed us, and then they fed us, and then they kept feeding us. But that seems to be kind of a theme of this trip, and we'll get to that in a minute. But so we took off from O'Hare, and then we had a layover in Doha. Now in Doha, because we were in business class, we had access to this amazing lounge, and that was pretty cool. And then we had the opportunity to buy a McLaren in duty free. Didn't happen, okay. But then we had to hop back on to the next flight where we got more food. And then before we knew it, we were in Bangkok. So we were picked up at the Bangkok airport, and just like anybody who gets there for the first time, we're just like videoing everything just to kind of take in all the sights and the sounds and just the way it looks. But we were greeted at the Shangri-La, and we got our room. It was such a beautiful hotel, and even a little welcome gift from our friends at Bernina, which made us feel very welcome. I mean, who wouldn't like chocolates, some fruit, and tea cakes, right? So as we were looking around and kind of perusing the premise of the hotel, I mean, their pool was wonderful. Everything was decorated in my favorite, teal. We decided that it was time to kind of take a look outside the hotel as well. You can see there, look at that boat. That is just not something that we would see on Lake Michigan. But we got on the shuttle, which is actually a boat that takes you across the river, and there we went to the Icon Siam, which is the big mall. Now, I would call this like a super duper big mall. It's like 7 stories, and there is all of these luxury stores. There's even Christian Louboutin, which I went in, but I didn't buy anything. And we looked around, and there's a Porsche dealer, who knew? But then down in the lower level, there's actually a market, and there you can find handmade goods, very Thai spirit of the culture of Thailand, merchandise, a little bit of fabric, and then also food, adventurous food, I must say. But it was probably time to take in a little bit more culture before any of that happened. But we got to see like the speedboats and get back on the shuttle. It was really cool because the shuttle in Bangkok is a boat that kind of takes you along the river there. But the traffic, oh la la, we braved crossing the street to go to Mazzaro. It was a lovely dinner, enjoyed it, had some drinks, some lamb, and slept like a baby. So why were we on this trip to Thailand? Well, it all goes back to 2019. That's right, almost 3 years ago. So when our first year, Chris and I, we had a pretty good year, so we won the sales incentive trip, and Bernina sent all of the dealers that also met certain goals to Thailand. And we kind of joked around. We're like, if we make our wedding on December 31st, we'll be taking that Thai trip in January. And sure enough, we were right. So January 2023, it was takeoff for Thailand. So now that we're here and we've met all of our Bernina dealer friends from across the country, it was time to sightsee. And I have to tell you, thank you so much to Bernina for such wonderful experience being submerged in the Thai culture, learning just a little bit about Buddhism, which is the predominant religion here, and just all of those things that kind of make you really appreciate a country when you visit it. So the highlights of like day one, for instance, so we went to see the reclining Buddha, and then we had a police escort in tuk-tuks, which I'm telling you right now was like, whoa, there is no way that I want to drive in Thailand, I can tell you that much. But we had this police escort, and then we went to the Royal Palace. Now the Royal Palace was packed, and it was pretty hot. And the princess had decided that she wanted to visit that day. So it turned out that at the palace there is the Emerald Buddha, and we were, you know, wanting to see that and whatever. And we got a little sneak peek of that one. And of course they are either dressed for winter, fall, or summer. And it's winter here in Thailand, despite the fact that it's a little hot for those of us that live in the cold Midwest. But nonetheless, the Royal Palace was beautiful. The grounds were gorgeous. And, you know, I just can't say enough about it. It was so much fun. So day two was pretty exciting. We went to the Thai floating market, and well, let me tell you, I didn't need the market because the trip there was pretty flipping amazing. We were in these speedboats, and I totally felt like I was being submerged in a James Bond movie. I'm not kidding. But we got to the floating market, and there are so many things there. It's just like unbelievable. I kind of think it's like carnival mixed with a flea market, mixed with the Choo Choo Festival in Chicago, or I don't even know. I mean, like, so you go there and there's these little alleyways, and it feels like you just keep going and going and going with it, and you can buy all kinds of things. In fact, you might ask, why am I so dressed up at this resort? Well, really, I was dressed in what you see me in right now, just because I looked at something in the floating market. That's right. So I'm going through, and then she's like putting the Thai wrap pants on, then the little halter top, and then the next thing you know, here I am in full-blown Thai silk. So very fun, very exciting, great experience. We had coconut ice cream served in a coconut. That was fun. Got to, you know, spend some time with our dealer friends at BERNINA of Evansville, and that's Sharon and Joanne, and that was really fun. And I just keep saying fun because this trip was completely fun. An exciting way to experience Bangkok is the top of Bangkok. And once again, another fantastic knock it out of the ballpark dinner from Bernina brought us to a rooftop restaurant where we got to experience what Bangkok looks like at night. And food is always delicious. Company was great. Thank you, Amy and Robin from Material Girls in La Plata, Maryland, for, you know, maybe get some ideas together for some collaborations or something one day. We do have to give a shout out to Amy and her fantastic mastery program that she's been doing on her YouTube channel. So check her out. But then it was time, lights out again, because we had to do some more fun stuff the next day. And that included another travel day to Chiang Mai. So in Chiang Mai, we got to go to another temple, but this time it felt a little bit more intimate because it was not the populated city of Bangkok, and we got an opportunity to give an offering to Buddha. Now the offering is not money, it's actually things that can be used in the temple. You know, things to brush your teeth, snacks, different kinds of things like that, and they're just wrapped up in beautiful packaging. And I think it's just a way to remind us that giving doesn't have to be money. It's about making sure that you are taking care of others so that one day you will be taken care of. You give and you get. Just like we want to be great people, nice people, kind people in this life, because when we come back, we want to have potentially a better life than the one that we have. And of course, that only happens if you do good things and take care of yourself, your family, your friends, loved ones in this lifetime. Or at least that's the message that I got. And when you give the offering and you say the prayer, you get your red bracelet to remind you of what you've done. And ladies wear it on their left wrist and gentlemen wear it on their right wrist. And as you can see, I still have mine on. Prior to this, I really thought that you put the red string on your wrist and you just waited for it to kind of fall off, but it was explained to us that we keep it on as long as we feel comfortable. Well, mine is just staying on there, so we're gonna see how long that lasts, because I want to remember this trip because it's been so amazing. So we left the temple, and then we headed to lunch because it's all about eating, right? And when we went to this lunch, it was a quite lovely lunch, but I can't even really tell you what I ate because all I can think about was the beautiful flowers and the scenery and the amazing bathrooms. I mean, I have not seen a bathroom like this ever before. And it was somewhere with the Flintstones meets like one of those Earthship houses in Arizona, but nonetheless, it was gorgeous and it was a really good time. We ended the evening by just going back to the hotel, having dinner poolside, because the next day we went to the Bernina Factory in Lamphun. I learned so much. In fact, the one thing that sticks out, well, there's many things that stick out to me from this trip to the factory, and one of them is, you know, the three core values of the Bernina company are passion, pride, and performance. This is represented to the umph degree at the factory in Thailand. There is such care taken to make sure that every product that comes out of this factory is absolutely perfect. For instance, they were doing the CAFE machines, both the 475 and the 770s, but let's just take the 770 for example. It goes through testing, and then it gets tested again, and then any little tweaks that it might take, it gets tweaked again. Then somebody else along the way, you know, like polishes it up and then packages it and just make sure that every little thing is just absolutely perfect. And wow, it really makes me really feel very passionate about, once all of that care is taken into those machines leaving the factory, for goodness sake, let's make sure that in shipping they make it okay, you know what I mean? So but that was great, and the people that work there are just awesome. And oh, another tidbit, so you know, in our 7 series, our 5 series, our 4 series hooks, there's that little sharp point on them. Well, that little thing is measured and hand polished. And then once the hand polishing is done to it, it gets measured under a microscope. And if it's not right, it gets redone. I mean, there's just, I can't even describe it, but trust me when I say that anything coming out of this factory is 100% pure quality. And if it's not, it is our responsibility as Bernina dealers to communicate that to the Martin, who runs the factory there, and you know, I can promise you that they will take care of it. So that was just really a beautiful experience, and I am very, very, very excited, humbled, and honored that we were able to visit and take advantage of that. Yes, and certain feet are still hand polished and hand buffed and tested. We saw walking feet being produced. We saw zipper feet, the number 1D dual feed. I can't remember everything. If I would have been allowed to take pictures, I could remember, but we saw chassis being made, and that was pretty fun how they go in and there's this one machine and it just like turns it each time new holes need to be drilled into it and things like that. It was just really amazing. It was like being live and in person on an episode of how it's made. So after the trip to the factory, we were treated to a wonderful celebration of Thai culture at a park near Chiang Mai, where we were able to see local artists make everything from hand-painted umbrellas to little like woven creatures, cut work pieces that were for decoration, beautiful dancing, beautiful food presentations, snacks, street food, and that wasn't even the dinner yet. So as we had dinner, there was a very talented group of ladies and gentlemen who performed for us. They sang Western songs, and I mean, one of the last places I would have ever expected to hear "Take Me Home Country Roads" would have been Chiang Mai, Thailand, but we heard a version of that, and also we heard La Vie en Rose, and coming off of our wedding, that was Chris and I, our first dance, so that was super fun to hear. And then we also got to see traditional Thai dancing right in front of this absolutely gorgeous temple, and this was the moment that I completely realized that I don't think I can ever sell another product other than Bernina again, because of just a fantastically wonderful, glorious spectacle and love of all of this culture. And I'm totally babbling, but I really loved it. And Chris and I, neither one of us really wanted to leave that evening, quite frankly, but we did. We had to go, and that was absolutely the highlight of the trip until the next day, where I might not even be able to really tell you about this without crying, but we went to the elephant rendezvous, and I had the most amazing experience of my life, being able to calmly, quietly, sweetly meet Tata the elephant, and Natalia, and Watermelon, and the baby elephant. So we got to feed the elephants, but first we got to make them their little vitamin balls. We got to feed them, and I can tell you something really funny. That baby elephant, I tried to feed it a banana, and it took it from me, and then it put it on the ground. And then when I gave it a vitamin ball, it ate that right away. But when the vitamin balls were all gone, it realized, oh, I'm not going to get any more vitamin balls. Okay, I'll eat that banana I threw on the floor. But these elephants are really taken care of by the mahout that is with the elephant a lot of times for its whole life. The elephants, they don't sleep very long, usually about 4 to 6 hours. So the mahout's responsibility is to make sure that they have food and that they're safe and that they're bathed properly, that their skin is cared for properly. I mean, everything that you can think of that you might do with your little fur babies. I mean, these mahouts are really taking care of these elephants, and they love these elephants, and they're just, it's so good to know that they're in such good hands. And I read a story there that really brought me to tears, and I can tell you a little bit about it. So the story that really got me is just a story of this mahout who takes care of this elephant, and she liked to bathe, she liked to do all of those things that I've shown you in this video so far. But this is probably not an unusual story, but
the elephant is aging, and she just stopped wanting to do the things that the elephants do. And particularly at night, she wouldn't lay down anymore. She kind of slept standing up, which elephants will do for nap time, but this was unusual. And her health just progressed, and one day she just collapsed, and she passed away. And of course, it was devastating to the caregiver. But this particular elephant is on display because her bones were dug up. She had been originally buried, but they were put back together to just kind of show us the majesty of these animals. So we got to see that. We got to, kind of experience the fact that when these elephants pass on, it's not just, okay, here they go off into the wild or whatever. There are funerals for these elephants, and it is a sad, devastating thing when they pass.
On the lighter side, did you know that paper is made out of elephant kaki? Yeah, poo paper. And we got to see how that's made. And hey, you know what? I even got some poo paper products to hand to our staff. I'm sure they're going to be thrilled when they know what it's made from. But nonetheless, this was a great experience, and Chris and I decided to go to another elephant preserve while we're in Phuket, so we'll keep you updated on that one. So, were the elephants the highlight of the trip? Was it the carnival experience? Was it the floating market? I don't know. Everything just kind of blended together so wonderfully and so nicely that I really can't tell you. But it was sad to leave. It was sad to bid our Bernina friends adieu. But nonetheless, Chris and I got on yet another plane and headed to Phuket, where we are currently celebrating the last few days of our vacation. So maybe we'll share a little bit about the honeymoon experience in another video, but for now, I hope you kind of enjoyed seeing all of the things that Bernina treated us to, and to just really know just what a fantastic company Bernina is, and that we wish that we could have brought all of you along with us, but that might have been a little bit difficult logistically because there were actually about 40 to 50 dealers on this trip, which constituted about 133 people that needed to be corralled around this thing. So as you can imagine, there were a lot of us traipsing in and out of these beautiful landmarks. So thank you for watching, and I hope you continue to watch our videos. Don't forget, it's easy to check out our Bernina of Naperville YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Bernina of Naperville, and there you can like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.